Hi, hey, hi, it's me, your Void, and these have been the hits and misses of 2025. 2025 has been my best reading year by far. I read 178 books, if I remember my numbers the right way, and by the looks of it, it was one of my best reading years in terms of rating as well. I think my average was like 4 stars for huge parts of the year. Then I dipped low a little bit when there were some very big misses towards the end of the year. So in this video I will tell you about the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I only had one star this year. Everything else usually got DNF'd. I had a couple of 2 stars and I only had five stars, one of which was a reread. So even though my average was actually kind of high, I had a super tiny amount of 5 stars, and I'm kind of disappointed in that. And I actually think I was kind of nice when I rated my books. Like I was nice rating the books. Let's start at the bottom of the barrel with the only 1 star I had in 2025, and you will see a pattern here. This book was a friend pick. I don't remember the month I did it, but there was a month where I was like, I can't be asked to pick my own reads, so I asked my friends to pick what I'm supposed to be reading. And Lee from the Chaos Archive said, read Metro 2033, because they love the game and they wanted to know if the books are any good. The book is not any good. I should have DNF'd after 100 pages. The first 100 pages I was like, yeah, it's not really grabbing me, but this is also almost 800 pages long, so I might give it a little more time to breathe. Maybe it needs a second to get there, right? When the book is this big, I like to give it 200 pages to decide if I need to DNF or not. A big help was the fact that my library had the audiobook for this book, so I just grabbed that, listened to the book while reading along, and 200 page mark, it was still incredibly boring, but somehow, there was this underlying vibe of maybe it gets better. I hope it gets better. I was curious enough to keep reading. So I kept reading, and I kept reading, and I kept reading, and then the book was over, and nothing ever happened. Have you ever heard of the games that are called walking simulators because they have little to no game mechanics other than you going a place and then clicking through the dialogue? This is a walking simulator game as a book, and it thinks it is hot shit. I genuinely have no idea how I made it through this book without DNFing it. I should have DNF'd all the way. Like at 100 pages, I should have DNF'd. 200 pages, I should have DNF'd. Every 100 pages, I said to myself, I should DNF this. And then I kept going. This is what friends can do to me. This is the kind of power friends hold over me. Lee told me that they wanted to know if the book is any good. So I stuck through 800 pages of a boring-ass walking simulator with a philosophy class attached to every single chapter. I went to philosophy classes in university. The philosophy stuff in here doesn't make any sense. It's just spitting out stuff that has been said by much more intelligent people in the past. This was a mistake. Reading this was a mistake. Finishing this was a mistake. I have never played the Metro games, but I'm pretty sure just the fact that this is a game where you have to shoot at zombies, like radioactive zombies, makes the game so much more interesting than the book, because the radioactive zombies are promised to you in the book as well. You never meet a radioactive zombie. You never meet a radioactive zombie. So if you ever wondered if the book is cool after you played the game, don't bother. Stick with the video games. There is more going on in a video game than this, and I say that as someone who has never touched Metro. Like, I only know that there is a video game out there. That's all I know about Metro. And the fact that the book is horrible. Remember how I said that there's a pattern? Remember that I said that my friends have incredible power over what I'm reading? Well, this one hurt. This one hurt people. This one hurt me. This one hurt my friends. I was gifted the next read that I'm going to talk about. I was gifted this by Kirsty. Kirsty gifted it to me because it is one of her favorite books of all time. Lee also loves this book so much. It's one of their favorite books of all time. So them hyping this up and gifting me the book, in Kirsty's case, I was dreading picking this up because I thought, what if I don't like it? Because it has some things in it that I don't like. First and foremost, it's a YA novel. I'm not usually one for a YA novel. Second of all, it has competitions in it. I'm very iffy when it comes to competitions, but I was like, yeah, might as well. It was pitched to me as a Hunger Game alternative, and I love the Hunger Games, so sure, why not? So I finally picked it up. I finally picked up The Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas. And I was bored out of my mind by this. I was bored out of my mind by everything in this. I don't even have words to describe how bored I was. It's just I didn't click with any of the characters. Not one of them I clicked with. The competition itself was okay, but we focused on all of the stuff between the actual competitions in the competition. We had the trials, yes, but they weren't the focus. The focus were the times in between when the characters had to interact with each other outside of public view. And that was so incredibly tedious to read about. And yes, I know it's a YA, and I know these people are teenagers, and teenagers can be obnoxious, but oh my god, Dale! The main character, the guy in whose head we are, is so obnoxious. Like, he's ranting about the high society kids. He hates them, even though his best friend is one, even though the guy he has a crush on is one. And because the guy he has a crush on was forced into a boarding school. It wasn't even of his own accord. He was forced into a boarding school. He was sent there. And this boarding school just doesn't have contact with anyone outside of the boarding school. They are literally prohibited from going outside. Literally. And still, Theo is mad at the guy he has a crush on for not talking to him. And then when the guy, because now they are together again, now they can interact again. So the guy he has a crush on is like, hey, let me help you because you are in a competition you have no training for, and I was trained for this competition since my 8th birthday. He wants to help you. Why do you try to hate him? My god, why are you such a bitch to him? I'm sorry that I'm screaming, but like everything about this book. No, I genuinely do not think that this book was overhyped, that I had too high of an expectation going into this, because I knew it is YA, and I don't usually like YA. I knew it was about a competition, and I don't usually like competitions. I was hesitant going into this because I knew it's not what I like, but I wanted to try it anyways because everyone in my close circle loves this. And I hated telling them that I am so incredibly bored by it. I hated telling them that I hated everything inside this book. The only thing I didn't hate was a 2-second interaction at the end when the bad guys do bad guy shit. But they disappear off the page right away because we have to put them in the sequel. By the way, I'm not going to read the sequel because I have been warned that the sequel is just more of this. So, nah. I will keep this as a shelf trophy because, again, Kirsty gifted it to me. And also, I think the cover is beautiful. Like, the gold accents, the cover is beautiful. But that's about all the good things I can say about this book. I really did not like it. Here's the thing. Where I said that Metro is just overall a bad book, this one, I can see why people like it. I can see that this would be a great read for the intended audience. If you give this to a teenager between, let's say, 13 and 16 years old, perfect, perfect. I think they will have the time of their life with this book. But my god, was I bored by this. Oh, and by the way, this will stay on my shelves because it is pretty and it was gifted to me. This one, I got this from a free little library, and back to the free little library it will go. I don't have room for this on my shelves. And the third book makes me scream even louder, although if you want to see me really rant about this and really scream about this, I will link a video in one of the corners and down in the description below where I extensively rant about this, because this book does not deserve any more attention, so I will just give you a quick rundown and then move on with my life because I have spent way too much time on this book already. I am talking about Blackheart Ghosts by Laura Eve. I adored book 1, Blackheart Nights. It's about knights on motorcycles in a neon world. It's not like cyberpunky. It's like, think Industrial Revolution but put neon signs on everything. The setting is very interesting. The characters are also very interesting in Blackheart Nights, because in Blackheart Ghosts we take everything that is good about Blackheart Nights, we drown it in the toilet, then we set it on fire, and then we shit on it. This book is so bad that I genuinely think that this book was written by a different person than Blackheart Nights. Everything about Blackheart Nights was amazing. I gave that 5 stars. This one I wanted to set on fire. I am vehemently against burning books. Even bad books. They have a purpose. They show us what bad writing looks like so that we don't do it. I want to burn this. I want to throw this into the sun so that it has some purpose in life. Because when I set this on fire, I am warm. When I set this on fire, there is some reactions happening that may or may not help with something in nature. I don't know, but I want to give this a purpose because this thing should not be allowed to exist. No, and that is all I'm going to say about that. Moving on to happier tidings, let's talk about my 5 stars, of which there were so few. Let's start with the easiest one because it was a reread, Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan, because of course, Kirsty from K-Beth Bookish read it last year, 2025, she read it. She hated it. I'm fine with that. I'm very aware of the flaws of this book, and I'm very aware that this is not necessarily up to whatever Kirsty is usually reading. This is very much outside of what she usually reads, outside of her bubble. So I did not have big hopes for her liking it, actually, but it's still one of my favorite books. This is my baby. This is my baby. And at this point, I have reread it, I think, 5 times. I read this. This is 800 pages. I read this at a speed that is unrivaled because I just know what's happening. I also, truth be told, I skip most of the Adamat chapters because that character is, I hate him. He does have a purpose in book 1. He does not have a purpose in book 2 or 3, but I also know what's happening in his storyline and I don't like him, so I usually skip everything that's happening in his storyline. Cool. But this book it was a 5-star read when I first read it, and ever since then it gets a nostalgia bonus, so it will never sink under 5 stars, I guess, unless the author turns out to be a piece of shit, but so far this man just seems very wholesome. So, yeah. Promise of Blood. I have talked about this many a times on my channel. The next 5-star I had was just a silly little read that I never planned on picking up, but my best friend put on a show about The Little Prince, and I went to see it, and it was amazing. I may have cried a little. And then I took my mom to it because it's her favorite, like, children's story, so I kind of forced her to attend the theater play, and she may have cried a little as well. Then when we came home from that, she was like, you really need to read the book, and I'm like, okay, cool. Because we have like a 50th anniversary, 100th year anniversary, I don't know. We have an anniversary edition, cloth bound. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not going to pick it up right now. And we also have like a crappy little school edition that my mother has owned for longer than I have been alive. So I read The Little Prince, and oh my god, it is such a cute story. It perfectly encapsulates the imagination, the careless imagination of a child, and it contrasts it perfectly with the dumb limitations grown-ups set for themselves. Like this freedom of just thinking outside of the box versus the box we build ourselves. It is such a beautiful piece of literature, and it's not that long. I recommend you read it. It's not that long and has been translated into basically every language on this planet. I recommend you read The Little Prince just to feel something. A book that I did not have any 5-star expectations for, but it blew me away, is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This book, I picked it up because I needed a thriller. I don't even know why I needed a thriller. I think it was a Winterween thing or something. I don't know, but I needed a thriller. So I picked up The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, And I read it and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I know that there is a plot twist coming. Like everyone knows, Frida McFadden, especially in the Housemaid series, is the queen of plot twists, apparently. That was all I knew about this book going in. And I was trying to guess where the plot twist is. I was trying to outsmart the book. And boy, oh boy, did the book outsmart me. Holy shit. You can actually see, I filmed my reaction to the last 100 pages in a vlog, I think. And I'm going to link it wherever I need to link it so you can see me just implode about the last 100 pages of this book when the book actually outsmarted me. Like, every single guess I had was wrong. What? Like, it was so good. And that one line at the end, James from James Too Good knows what I'm talking about. Like, that line sent me places, and I have been thinking about that singular line for weeks after finishing the book. And even now, sometimes when a situation just reminds me of what happened at the end of the book, I think about that line. It is in my head. It's like echolalia, but only for your brain. It's so good. It was so good. Like, it was genuinely so good. And I'm interested in seeing what they did with the movie. Like, I think the movie's already out as of filming this video. I really need to watch that movie. Like, wow. And then we had February. February was the month I had literally no hopes for going into it. Because starting 2025, I was not the biggest fan of a romance book, of a traditional romance book, where like the romance is the thing you do, right? I was not a reader of that. And then I challenged myself for February to read romances. Boy oh boy have I turned into a romance reader since. One reason for that is Red, Right, and Royal Blue by Casey McKinston, because wow. I don't even know why. I think this was it just did it. It just did it for me. I just loved it. I don't even know what part was it that did it for me. It just did it for me. It's like it's a simple-ish romance, right? You have a boy falling in love with another boy, and one of them is like sexually repressed, the other one is having a sexual awakening, and their situation is complicated by the fact that one of them is the son of the president and the other one is a British prince. And they navigate around that, and they fall in love around that. Like, they come to terms with themselves, they fall in love around all of that, and they figure shit out. And I don't know, it was just good. I also watched the movie, and the movie was a total disaster. That movie can go die in a ditch. Like, that movie, no. That took everything that was good about the book, everything that made the book work, they cut out of the movie. But the book? Chef's kiss. I love that one. Now we come to the thing that I did not expect would get me the way it gets me. I had five stars in 2025. One of which was a reread, and one of which was technically a lie. It only got 5 stars because I could not go higher. I don't give 6-star ratings. I rarely give 5-star ratings, as you can see. I gave this one a 6-star. I'm talking about A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. This book should not have been this good for me. It is a Regency romance. I have never touched anything Regency romance related before in my life because I was never interested in the time period. This is a romance. When I picked this up, I had never really been interested in romances. Technically, this is a hetero romance between a lady and a duke. I say technically because our leading lady is a trans woman, therefore it's not quite heteronormative. That was actually the thing that made me pick this up at all. If there hadn't been our leading lady in this as a trans character in a Regency romance, I would not have picked this up. No way in hell would I have picked up a dumbass Regency romance. But I did. I'm so glad that I did. Because what do you mean? I don't know what is in here. The banter is perfect. Our 2 main characters have so many dimensions to them, and they don't hide any of them just to appease the other one, to appease the people around them. They are flawed. They are feeling deeply. Everything about this is gold. And this this is the book that made me interested in reading more romances. And then And then Red, White, and Royal Blue came around, and I was lost. I became a romance reader. I watched Bridgerton after this because I wanted more Regency romance, and then I fell in love with Bridgerton. And at the same time, I was introduced to the concept of a matcha, so I started drinking matchas and I became a basic bitch! Ah! This book is what started it. This book is what made me a romance girly, and I love it dearly, and it's my prized possession at this point, and oh my god, I love it. I love it. I'm just, yeah. Every time I look at it, I'm tempted to just pick it up and reread it. I wanted to reread this right after I finished it, because what do you mean? This is my magnum opus. If you ever want to know me, read these two books. They couldn't be more different from each other. I mean, I guess they both feature war in a sense. This one has an active war. This one is like healing from war trauma, I guess. But yeah, if you want to know me, this is the spectrum you have to operate on. I am somewhere in between here. So yeah, this is the best book, and I'm holding it in my hand now, and I'm so tempted to just start reading it. I have so many other things to read, but I'm so tempted to just pick it up again. Maybe I do a reread in February. You know, maybe I make this an annual thing. Who knows at this point? And because I had so few 5 stars this year, and I want to have a positive note here, I'm going to give some shout outs to some 4.5 stars I had. With the first one going to All Systems Red by Martha Wells. I started the Murderbot series in 2025, and I made my way almost all the way through. I'm missing 2. And yes, I love the Murderbot Diaries. It is amazing. I love Murderbot. I love every single shenanigan it gets up to. I also love the show. The show is also really good. It's not like the Murderbot Diaries books, but it's still a good show. It's one of the better adaptations, I might add. And then, because I had entered my romance era, I read the Brown Sister trilogy back to back, and Act Your Age, Eve Brown was just... yes! It was just, yes! I just loved it! I adored both of the characters, and it was just good. It was just good. It was not perfect. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. It was really, really good. Another really, really good romance was the one in City of Carnal Delight. And in this one, this nailed the essence of a gothic horror book so well. I have rarely, very rarely seen the atmosphere executed in such a great way. And not even in the Victorian era. I'm not quite sure when the Victorian era started and when it ended, but this is the 1920s. And you feel the 1920s aesthetic. The characters also are very much 1920s behavior. It was so good. This is, if you need gothic horror with a bit of romance, this. Sticking with the theme of horror, my favorite comic this year of all of them was House of Slaughter Volume 2 Scarlet. My boy Edwin, I love him dearly. He is so messed up. And he doesn't even know how messed up he is. He's aware that he's messed up. He's vaguely aware that there's more to his messed upness than he thinks there is. But he has no idea how messed up he is. The story premise is so simple, and then we just quickly go down the rabbit hole of Edwin's psyche and all of the shit going on in there, and it's so good. And if you can put this into context with the other House of Slaughter and the Something is Killing the Children comics, it gets so much worse in the best possible way. If you know, you know. I actually think we kind of need a green mask to deal with little boy Edwin. I don't want a green mask to deal with Edwin, but I kind of think we have to have a green mask deal with Edwin. If you know, you know. If you don't know, read the comics. I also deeply fell in love with the art style. Like, look at this. This is a cover for one of the issues that are put into this volume. I love this so much. So much. It's the good shit, you know? And my final shout out goes to Velocity Weapon by Megan E. O'Keefe. I can exactly pinpoint the thing that had me deduct half a star of this book. It is a side story I am 100% convinced is going to be important in the following volumes. But in volume 1, it just feels redundant. It feels like it doesn't belong there. It takes you out of the story. It has nothing to do with the main story. It's just there. I'm pretty sure it's needed setup. But if you only read the first book, you're like, huh? Why are you here? That's the exact thing that takes half a star off of this. But this book, the rest of it is so amazing. I love the characters. They have great banter. Also, fuck you, government. Always a good choice. And the plot twist that happened exactly at the 50% mark is just chef's kiss. I was like, wait, what? What? Like, it kind of came out of nowhere, but it made sense. It's one of those plot twists that you see the hints for it, you see the foreshadowing with 2020 hindsight. So you're not feeling robbed. It doesn't feel so stark that's like it doesn't make sense. It's only there for shock value. It makes so much sense. You just don't think about it. So it hits you like a train. But yeah, this one was so close to being 5 stars. I'm pretty sure without the weird side story for one of these characters, it would have been 5 stars, but I cannot overlook that side story, so it has to be 4.5, but it's so good. Also, side note, because this one was marketed to me as a sci-fi book, a hard sci-fi book for people who come from fantasy books. So if anyone out there on my meager audience is a fantasy book reader and you want to get into hard sci-fi, read Velocity Weapon. This reads genuinely like a fantasy book without any of the fantasy elements. This is in space. We are flying spaceships. There is literally no hint to anything magical. It's all science. It's hard sci-fi, but it reads like your typical fantasy book. So I wholeheartedly stand by the marketing that this is a really good intro into sci-fi for those of us who are more used to reading fantasy. And there you have it. Those were my highest of highs and my lowest of lows of the year 2025. I do hope I can get some more 5 stars going into 2026. I need those books, man. By all accounts, my 2025 reading wasn't bad. Again, my average rating was just under 4 stars. I think it was like 3.78 or something. And I'm pretty sure it could have been 4 stars if I had made more intelligent decisions in December. December kind of tanked it. I really hope I get more 5 stars in 2026. I would like some quality over quantity. Like, reading 178 books is a lot. That is like more than triple the amount I usually shoot for. And it was just amazing. I had an amazing reading year. But yeah, if you made it this far into the video, let me know what your best book, what was your favorite read of 2025. If you have read any of the books I talked about, I showed, let me know what your opinion on them was. Did I hurt you with my hate on Sunbearer Trials? If you don't want to talk to me, leave 5-star emojis, 5 single star emojis down in the comment below. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video. Bye.